in a well-ordered world, this lawsuit would have happened against legacy admissions first, but the plaintiffs, went after affirmative action first because it's always easier to take out black people than it is to take out legacy whites. And since we're more vulnerable, we get the brunt of it first. But really, you only need affirmative action because of the other thing, because of institutional legacy requirements. Right? And legacy written broad, not like individual families who went there, but the class of people who were allowed to go there versus the class of people who both paid for the taxes but was shut out of going to those institutions. Does that make sense? Right. So think about race as lineage. And Sandy Darity, in his book, I think is pretty good in saying that, like, look, we can have a lineage test for blackness. One, if you can trace your descendant back to a descendant of slave, and you have an identity test on top of that where we go back 12 years, and if 12 years ago you were still identifying yourself as black, then you're black. There's your lineage. There's your race test with a lineage component and an identity component. Right? Barack Obama would fail that test. He can't trace himself to a descendant of slave. Boom. He's not black. It's complicated. It wasn't complicated. He's, part black. Look, my dad's from Ghana, and he's one of those Negroes who came over on a plane. My mom's from South Carolina. Her people came over on boats. Should I get legacy status as legacy degraded? I don't think so. Not necessarily. Or if I do, like after everybody else. But I need everybody else to get it. Because look, my life as a African born in California changes markedly if every other black person who's a descendant of slave gets reparations. I don't even my life gets so much better. Everything, it doesn't even have to come directly to me if it goes to all the people who look like me. Does that make sense? And then everyone, so I don't even need it. Do I deserve it? Not necessarily, because like I said, my dad pretty much is a pretty big factor in who I am, and my dad's from African. And he makes me different because he's not a descendant of slave. So I don't really, my mom's from California. I grew up in California, I identify as black. But if it turns out that I need to wait in the back of the line while everybody else who has 4 grandparents from here and can trace all their lines to sharecroppers and slaves and Jim Crow, then I'm fine with them getting their cut first, and me not even getting a cut, because if they do fine, my life is different, is so different, and awesome. So yeah, that's where I am on the situation, because it's all about legacy and lineage. And if you want to contest my lineage, that's fine. You can do the easy cases first. I'll go to the tribe. Here's the deal. So Darity says that there should be, for the marginal cases, there should be a tribunal who then looks over, and you could appeal to a marginal case about whether, what kind of race or lineage are you, if you're going to get reparations. And that's fine. I'll take my cut on appeal. I'll chance the system, and the appeal is going to be governed by people who are not marginal. Once again, I'm fine with that. That makes perfect sense to me, because American descendants of slaves need to be made whole for America to be the nation it's supposed to be, and they have not. They have not. And if some people say well, you're African, you're not really black, I'll say that, okay, I was born in California. My dad moved here. My mom's from South Carolina. But I'll give you the credit, because I don't have the same sort of legacy degradation. I do not have the same sort of legacy degradation. And I need the people with that legacy, with the full legacy degradation on both sides, all the sides, to be given assets. And then maybe they'll do business with me. All right.